Looking back to last season, you guys graduate 5 seniors, including 4 starters. Players like Pierre Newton, Taylor Lavery, and Brendan Pineda. What do they mean for this program?
What they mean ultimately is they graduated and hopefully they're good alumni and they enjoyed their experience. Certainly they brought some excitement and athleticism to our program. I think they helped us recruit the current players that we have. Hopefully they left a decent impact. It's one of those. Last year was one of those years. It was really strange. We started out so well and finished so poorly that it was really a difficult pill to swallow at the end. But when you step back and look away from it, it was a good year that those guys had good careers.
On a related note, your club did end the season on a 7-game skid last year. What can you and your returning players take away from that?
We just have to be more consistent. I think we probably, as a group, looked ahead as far as what the season could have been instead of just taking every day, one day at a time, and just trying to get better for that day. And ultimately, one mistake kind of led into 2, and then I think as a group we kind of panicked and kind of lost our composure, and hopefully we can learn from that.
All right, looking forward to this season. What are you expecting from some of your more experienced guys like Charles Benson, Kyle Shell, and Jake Wilson?
Well, they're going to have to lead us early because they're some of the few that have at least an idea of what we're trying to accomplish offensively and defensively. And so far through practice, I think they've done a good job of that. As far as production, I think we're going to get production from a variety of different people. Certainly the older guys will have an opportunity early, and we'll just see who steps up from there.
12 of the 16 players on your roster are freshmen or sophomore. Have you ever had this much youth, and what challenges do you think it brings?
I certainly haven't. The challenges that it brings is just right now the vast majority of our players are just learning how to play college basketball. The time commitment, the intensity, the speed, the physicality, all those things are new to them, and it's something that they're going to face every day. We go to the Friday, Saturday road swing. We go against older teams. It's going to be something that it's going to be a learning experience every day of the year. And how we respond to those is going to be really fun to coach and probably a little bit nerve-wracking at the same time.
Going off that, do you change the way you coach with this young of a team?
Well, I think you certainly have to be more patient. I think you have to spend a lot more time explaining things because you want to make sure and get it right the first time. When we're looking at this group, as this team as a group, we certainly have the potential to spend quite a few years together. So we want to lay a good foundation and make sure we do things right the first time, which may take a little bit longer in the long run. But I think it will help us down the road if we make sure and do it right, as opposed to just hurrying up and trying to win some games with a young group and then then having to teach things later. I'm not sure that's the right approach that we want to take with this year.
Kyle Shallow is the lone returning starter for you guys. Who do you see stepping up to fill some of those remaining spots?
Well, Trevor Entwistle played quite a few minutes last year as a reserve guard, and he'll step into quite a significant role. And then from there, it's a competitive thing every day. As you look at the freshmen who are coming in and guys are fighting for minutes, this upcoming game against River Falls on Saturday will give us a chance to take a look at a lot of people and give us a chance to kind of determine the direction that we're going to go. My experience has been with young groups like this, we're probably going to have a variety of different lineups and a variety of different opportunities for guys to step up. And the ones that grasp it and the ones that are able to maintain it are the ones that will ultimately play the most.
All right. In order to be successful this season, what do you think you need to do well?
We need to do simple things well. Just pass and screen and rebound and defend. We're not going to be a team due to our youth that's going to have probably a full package of schemes and stuff, because we need to do simple things really, really well and execute really, really well. And until we can master task A and B, we won't move on to C. And ultimately we'll see how long that takes. But with this group, again, laying down a pretty solid foundation for the future and making sure that these guys stay together and work hard and ultimately do the right things well and do the simple things well, it will help us down the road for sure.
How do you see the NSIC shaking up this year, and where do you think the Bulldogs fit in?
Well, we were picked 12th, and it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for anybody to tell. Heck, if their own coach can't tell, I don't know how any other coach can tell. We're so young that we just have to see how guys respond in live action. As far as the league, it's again a very challenging league. I know quite a few teams: Mankato, St. Cloud, Sioux Falls, Augustana are going to be very, very difficult to play against. I think what the league has done as a whole is the middle and the bottom have become very, very competitive, so that maybe in 5-10 years ago it was a top-heavy league, where now it's a very much more well-balanced league. So it'll be a fun year. Certainly a lot of challenges ahead, but I know our guys are ready to respond to it.
Last question here. You guys open up the season with a pair of neutral site games at the Wisconsin Dells. How did that come about?
Well, we recruit Wisconsin quite a bit. Our traveling partner, Bemidji State, recruits Wisconsin quite a bit. And then the head coach at Lindenwood in St. Louis is a Wisconsin native, and he recruits Wisconsin quite a bit. So it was kind of a natural thing to bring a lot of guys back to their home state and be able to play. They have a wonderful facility in the Just a Game Fieldhouse, and with the NCAA rules, you're allowed to get 2 additional games, exec games, for these crossover tournaments. So we've matched up the NSIC with the MIAA and came up with a pretty unique event. Wisconsin Dells in mid-November might not be the garden spot of the world, but the hotels, the water parks, and all the fun stuff that go along with it. It'll be a fun trip for the guys, and it'll certainly be some challenging basketball for us.